那么当东方的哲学智慧遇上西方的现代生物技术，又将碰撞出怎样的火花呢？接下来我们非常荣幸地邀请到2004年诺贝尔化学奖得主、何志有德生物科技首席顾问科学家阿隆·切哈诺沃教授为我们带来精彩的演讲。
Next, we are honored to invite our chief consultant of science, Mr. Aaron Chehanover, winner of the 2004 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. He will explain the ministry of life and health for all of us. Welcome.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk in front of this wonderful, wonderful audience. I'm going to talk to you briefly about the changing that medicine is undergoing these days, both in China and in the rest of the world. I will start with China, with traditional Chinese medicine that we just heard about, that is hundreds of years old, knowledge of millions of people, that is very, very important. Just to mention to you a Chinese scientist by the name of Yo-Yo Tu, who purified, according to Chinese traditional medicine, a drug called artemisinin that is being used against malaria and saved the lives of hundreds of millions of people. For her work, she got the Nobel Prize in Medicine. Another drug was developed by my friend of mine from Shanghai, Professor Chen Zhu, and it's arsenite, and it's also based on Chinese traditional medicine, and it's being used against a blood cancer called premyelocytic leukemia. So you see the importance of Chinese traditional medicine that entered in big way into the entire world and saved the lives of millions of people, not only in China, but in the entire world. And Chinese traditional medicine is moving on by purifying more new drugs from herbs and from other sources, and I'm sure that it will walk side by side and integrate together with Western medicine to benefit people worldwide. So let me talk now about Western medicine. And Western medicine is also undergoing major changes, and mostly it's going from very general medicine into personalized medicine. We are going to treat individual people. What about the changes in Western medicine? Until now, we were treating a disease. For example, if a woman had a breast cancer, we treated her by taking the tumor away, by chemotherapy, by radiotherapy, and all these treatments are very, very destructive. Now, we are going to move into what we call personalized medicine or predictive medicine, and this is being based on the DNA and the RNA and the proteins of the patient himself. As you see, the future drugs are going to be based on the DNA of each person. We are going to move from a medicine of one size fits all into medicine that will be tailored to the size and to the repertoire of each individual patient. I want to bring you one example, breast cancer, for example, which is very common disease. 1 out of 8 women are going to get breast cancer along their life. Therefore, the disease is called 1 in 8. You can see here 2 different biopsies that were taken from breast cancer. This is one example, and this is another example. And you can see that they are different. Here you see one island, and here you can see little islands. Here you can see staining in a brown color by a specific antibody and here not. So you see that two women has breast cancer, but it's a different breast cancer. In the old time, those two women would have been treated the same way. We should take the breast away and treat them with chemotherapy and radiotherapy. Nowadays, we shall treat them against the specific cancer that they have. We call it targeted treatment. We hit directly the target. We hit the mutation in this disease. And this is all based on the technology of the human genome. We learned how to sequence the DNA of everyone. And by sequencing the DNA, we get information on the mutations. And according to the mutations, we can develop new drugs. We are building an atlas of all the mutations of all the diseases. This is just an example. We are building an atlas of cancer, of all the cancers, and all the brain diseases, and all the lung diseases, and the kidney diseases. So we shall have a map of all the possible mutations that result in diseases. So instead of jumping on the patient, when a woman has a tumor or a man has a tumor, we are first going to analyze the mutation. We are going to analyze the DNA, we are going to analyze the RNA, and we are going to analyze the proteins in order to get a profile and to understand the mechanism of the disease. So we are in a new revolution that is called the revolution of personalized medicine, because it's going to be personal. Each individual patient will be analyzed for the mutation that brings the disease, and accordingly the treatment will be tailored. Problem is that this treatment is very expensive. And in medicine, I am a doctor, we are swearing to treat all patients. But unfortunately, for now, it looks that this new treatment is going to be very expensive, and therefore governments will have to make sure that it is nevertheless accessible to everybody. I think that another issue is the privacy. You know, when you go to the doctor, whatever you tell the doctor keeps as a secret. Now with the sequencing of DNA, there is a lot of information in the DNA. So let's say that I go to the hospital and they test my DNA for cancer. They may also find other mutations, like, for example, that in few years I'm going to get Alzheimer's disease. So the information in our DNA is very sensitive, not only for us and for the future, but maybe the government would like to know it. Maybe insurance company would like to know it. Maybe our children would like to know it. And maybe our employer would like to know it. So we should realize that this information can leak out. As I said, it can leak out and gets to hands that have bad purposes. And Angelina Jolie noted that her mother died of breast cancer, and her aunt, the sister of the mother, died of ovarian cancer. And she realized that she may carry a mutation in a gene called BRCA1, BRCA1, that lead to these two diseases. And indeed, she was tested, her DNA was sequenced, and she was found to have the mutation. So she decided to make an operation and to take her two breasts and her ovaries in order to prevent future cancer. So this is the essence of personalized medicine. To know exactly what disease you have by analysis of the DNA, to predict it, and then to take preventive steps. So Angelina Jolie will never have breast cancer and ovarian cancer because she predicted the risk and took the organs out. In that way, she did a great service to many women that should notice whether there is breast cancer or ovarian cancer in their sisters or mothers or aunts, and be very careful about it. She is the one that really symbolizes, more than any other person in the world, the essence of personalized medicine. An important quality control system that removes from the body proteins that are damaged. If our system doesn't work properly and proteins that are damaged are not being removed, we can get diseases like cancer and brain diseases. Based on this knowledge, many drugs have been developed and they are used all over the world to treat cancer patients, of course, in China as well. And many more drugs are being developed today, including by ourselves. Accordingly, 21 years ago, we got the Nobel Prize in Chemistry, and this is the photo of me. Now my hair is white. At that time I was 21 years younger. I got the prize from the King of Sweden, and this is how the prize looks like. This is the diploma, and this is the medal. And you see on the medal on the other side, you can see my name and the year 2004. And the drugs that are being used these days fall and obey the rules of personalized medicine. We give them only to patients that genetically are fitting into the appropriate DNA. Thank you very much for your attention. I want to wish China and the company big success in developing very important and efficient drug for the benefit not only of the people of China, but of people of the entire world. Good luck.